Welcome to Who's House podcast, and I'm just trying to figure out who's in my house today, man. This guy is just like everywhere right now. It's a miracle I got him in New York City. But before I even start this interview, I gotta hook him up because Travis Scott and OG Chase B. I see you're a sneakerhead. What sneakers you got on right there?
I got these on, the Supremes. With I went down to Stadium Goods the other day, and I got.
They hooked you up?
Yeah, they did.
You had to pay for it?
I did, yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, it's the right thing. It's the right thing to do. You should pay.
You about to have the #1 movie in the country? They made you pay?
Technically,
What the fuck?
a little bit yes, a little bit no.
Let me stop cursing. But shout out to Travis Scott. He gave me some goodies to give to you.
Oh wow, man!
Travis Scott and OG Chase B. That's his DJ. But I went to another spot and they told me to pick it up, and you told me your size. So since you are Venom, they got you the black on black Travis Scotts.
Now the conundrum is how to get into the box, which shows how smart I am.
Yeah. I mean, take your time.
We only have like 15 minutes to this interview. I might need a support team to help me get into this.
So those are so those are like the Venoms, but they're really Travis Scotts.
Ooh, they're lovely.
So shout out to Travis Scott, man. You need to go to one of his wild concerts in Europe. Do you see them? Like the way he just he does like the biggest mosh pits ever, like 100,000 people mosh pitting.
Seriously,
all over. I think in Greece, somebody thought it was an earthquake.
Really?
At the arena, yeah. Like people who live nearby thought there was an earthquake.
Okay, no, I haven't seen it. These are great, thank you.
We got Eddie Brock in here, a.k.a. Tom Hardy. What's up, man? Me and you's been mad cool lately. We've been hanging out, chilling, man. You're a real cool guy, man.
Let's see, that's a kind of
Shout out to Tiny Temper, man. You got us
100%.
together.
Thanks, Tiny.
How do you know Tiny Temper, real quick?
Well, we train together, so
really?
we do jiu-jitsu together. We have the same, we have the same professor, so I've known him for about 6 and a bit years now.
6 years.
Yeah. Well, since we started training together.
I never knew that Tiny Temper is like a fighter.
He's good as well. You should see him. He just won
short. He's like Kevin Hart, kind of.
Well, I think he's my height. I'm short as well. Then I'm 5'9" at a push. 5'7" with my bow legs. When I walk around and cut about. But no, and he's good actually. He's good. He's a blue. I think he's on his way to purple. He's just won a competition.
Wow.
So he's putting himself out there, which is great, and he loves the sport. And
you're on Mike Tyson's network. He has. I
don't want to fight Mike Tyson if this is at all. Not even jits.
Well, his fight is coming up November 15th. What do you think about that? Him and Jake Paul.
I'm a huge Tyson fan, so I'll be
At 57.
watching. I know, but he's still dangerous.
Yeah.
Like it's not just anybody. I know that there's conflicting thoughts across the panorama of people who are fight fans or Tyson fans or boxing fans about what that kind of fight means to different people. Some people are very anti it, some people are pro it, and I think ultimately Mike's I'm Mike Tyson. And so that would be the massive draw for me would be just to watch him fight.
I mean, one guy, he always goes crazy, Dana White. Because he loves Mike Tyson so much. He doesn't. I guess he hates Jake Paul. So does 90% of America. You look like you would spit at Jake Paul's face if you ever saw him.
I thought you were gonna say you look like Jake Paul.
No.
I was gonna say,
but
this is yours. No, I don't want to get into any of that. Fighting is fighting. It's not easy. You know what I mean? At all. It's uncomfortable. It hurts. So if fair play. If somebody's putting themselves out there, you can expect the landing that's coming, and that's on you. And I take my hat off really to anybody who fights at all. And I'm not a professional in that space. So
well, you took down Sean O'Malley kind of easy in that skit. You had him in a headlock. That was crazy.
He let me. He's a really nice guy, actually. Yeah, of course he did. It's not. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was gifted.
He's supposed to be
gifted the opportunity.
He's supposed to be Dana White's next Conor McGregor. So
I can see. Sean is a super interesting fighter and a really lovely guy, and and Dana knows what he's doing, and it was a real pleasure to work with both of them.
Your background, I heard that you got the Bane character from like a bare knuckle street fighter from back in the days, like
yeah. So that was interesting in its fact. Obviously, Bane was a huge opportunity to have and to be in a Batman, a Chris Nolan Batman movie, It's huge. And when it came down to it, you have to find a voice for everybody, and it's a comic book character, so it has to have some kind of, especially after Heath Ledger had delivered the Joker, which is a monumental success and much loved by all the fans. Coming on after his Joker as the next Batman villain was a difficult space to fill out. I suppose not fill out the shoes that he of the villain previous, but it was just a difficult conundrum as to how to approach him. So there, he has a mask. He's a big guy. What does he sound like? That was, and I like vocal silhouettes. You can play down the line and bat double, be really safe, and play an arch villain, which is quite straight. And I thought that might be really boring and not really doing the job. So I presented Chris with an option, and I said, because also Bane is, Latinx origin. So, me being Irish, there's no immediate connection, familiar in that aspect of my legacy and the heritage. So I had to look at what else was Roman or Latin or Romany, and gypsies, have a direct link in that aspect, which, I can also connect through genetics in that aspect. So I was like, who's out there? And I found a guy who I knew actually before I was supposed to play Bartley Gorman anyway. After I did a film called Bronson, it came out, and he's called Bartley Gorman. He's the king of the gypsies, a bare knuckle fighter, a legend amongst the traveling folk. It could be ridiculed. It could go really wrong.
That's what I was saying. That was like a ride or die situation.
A little bit, but that was quite a bit of the fun.
Though.
Yeah, it is. But he'd written Bane as quite florid. A bit of a demagogue, somebody who likes the sound of his own voice. Like there's a scene when he's on top of the Batmobile and he's talking about Harvey Dent, and it's very florid and wax lyrical for somebody who's such a big gorilla type, who's normally a silent type, right? So it's like maybe he likes the sound of his own voice, or it's something about his voice that comforts him in the darkness, and it's a sort of the only part of him that's vulnerable and pretty in some way, which is a counter point to somebody who looks dangerous. If you can present something that's frilly and soft and slightly opposite to what you're physically presenting.
Remember, the ending result is ruthlessness.
I liked it.
Oh my God.
I think, and then Chris went for it, and then that's what it is, So it's a mix of Bartley Gorman and some Richard Burton and bits and pieces.
Do these characters affect your way of thinking? Like you have to be like, it's like Bane and Venom, like they're so intense. Like, does it affect like your regular life? Like when
No,
you're babysitting your kid, and you're like,
no, not really. No, I think because I am a bit of I think I'm a big kid in so many ways that like as an adult I can get to play in an adult way, like a child would play when they were, small naturally with their whatever toys, and then they give voices to their toys. I'm just the toy in this experience, but I get to play on a big field. So I get the joy of playing like a child, but with the grown up humiliation of making a mistake and people judging and saying that was shit. As kids, you don't go up to them and say, that doesn't look like a spaceship, it's shit. Do you know what I mean? Your Lego sucks. You don't say that to kids, but they do say that to actors.
what was your favorite comic book as a child?
I like the book called The Nam, actually, which is only run for 1 year, and it was in the back of The Punisher.
Oh,
and it was
wow.
about
Really?
a tour of duty in Vietnam, yeah.
Was it called The Nam?
Yeah, just The Nam.
It was like a war comic book or
It's
something?
about a tour of duty in Vietnam. It's just and it's a real world comic book, so it wasn't
Really?
like a superhero. It was like Dispatch, as it were. But it was good. It was a good. And when I grew up, it was it was like the time that Full Metal Jacket, Platoon, Hamburger Hill, Apocalypse Now. Vietnam was like a very taboo subject to have on movies. It was only like 10 years after the war had finished. So that was the kind of, I suppose, the stimulus that I was getting from the television and from, I suppose, what was newsworthy or film-worthy at the time was those movies. So that comic book resonated.
What hood are you from?
I'm from London, so I don't know why that resonated.
I heard it's in Richmond. I don't know.
I'm from the leafiest, easiest streets you could possibly walk on. You could eat your dinner.
It was cool? It wasn't rough?
No, not at all. No, it's not. If you can find trouble, if you want, anywhere, anyone can find trouble.
All I could see is like when I do research on you, you had a wild journey to get here. Like who was the one that made you get into acting?
It was my mum.
Your mom?
Yeah, my mum. My
Really?
mum was she was very positive. I don't have any brothers or sisters. and I've pretty much failed at school. At anything, my attention span is very short. Or I'd prefer not to be there.
So you used to trick your mom with your acting skills, like like.
I learned to manipulate from a very young
My dad
age,
always
yeah.
knew when I was bullshitting, when I was crying, like the fake crying, to get him to feel sympathy.
It depends
I
how
was a bad
hard you
actor.
go. It depends how hard you go. Do you know what I mean? There's like crying is a very basic level of like manipulation. Do you know what I mean? There are ways to.
Is that the hardest to figure out? Crying?
No, you have tear stick. You can just put it on your
They
eyes.
do that. They put dewdrops on your face and stuff
No,
like
no,
that.
no, no. So right, okay. So like eucalyptus oil.
What?
Have you heard of eucalyptus?
Yeah,
Right, okay,
of course, yeah.
So or Vicks, where you stick up your nose when you have a cold or a blocked nose. You can take that Vaseline stick and you put it under your eye, and it makes your tears come. So you don't have to work for it all.
Oh, so I don't have to think about like some ex-girl that
No, that's a waste of
deaded me.
everybody's time. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we
Really?
need to get this scene shot, just put the
And that's
it's acting in a can. It's called Krillin. I think it's Krillin.
I'm learning a lot today.
And it's called tear stick. Get yourself a tear stick. It saved me years of training. Don't get me wrong. I can I can emote and find tears, but if I can't be bothered, I can still translate that. Yeah, no, it'll make you. Also, tear stick can give you a really interesting. If you put tear stick on at the right amount, it will gloss your eyes over and create a gloss over your eyes that creates a filter that is quite disturbing on camera. So people will not quite understand what, because the camera will pick up minute details. So if you're in close up and you use a tear stick to varying degrees before tears, you can also add another layer of mask work onto your look. I'm going to get you some.
I want to get some
It's like
because
tear gas in a can.
my job is doing radio. I gotta listen to all these horrible tracks, like demos. I need that tearing thing so they can see that I'm like
Emotionally moved
and
by
they gotta
the
leave me
work.
alone. Like,
Oh, okay, yes.
Let's let Whoo Kid chill. He's crying.
Look
over
at
it,
him,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
look at rocking in the corner, there. Like bubbles of snot dribbling, crying.
saying? What's up with your son, man? He's the reason you became Venom. He actually approved your situation.
He had no choice.
He had no
It
choice.
didn't matter, none, zero. You know that was above his pay grade. But what he did have, a say-in was like whether or not I was convincing, and boy did he let me know what was working and what
He
wasn't.
didn't like the Bane character.
Yeah. But the thing, you got kids are a real. They're very, very honest in a way that there's no shade of sunlight distinguished. There's no integration point. You're either in or you're out. And he would be like, I said, what was one time I said to him? It's hard, this, He goes, yeah, but you're not Spider-Man.
Oh,
What do you mean? Because it's
Nah,
not like
he
you're.
did not say
No,
that.
100%. It's not like
What?
it's not like you're Tom Holland, like, or Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool. You're Venom. I was like, dude, it's hard to get on the pitch, But
I hope your son is not the reason why you be trolling Tom Holland out there.
I don't troll Tom Holland. He's a good lad.
You always
know what I mean?
calling him out, man. At Comic-Con, you said you would fight him.
No, I said I'd
immediately.
fight Spider-Man.
Oh.
All
Okay.
day. And I believe I read
Movie
an
beef.
article that he said, and I should pull it up because actually, like, an elephant never forgets, and I shouldn't take it personal, but like I do. Anyway, and he said, I think I should kick. Venom is definitely somebody that I should kick the ass of someday. I was like, boy, there is somebody stood behind that character, which is the eye. And which part of the eye's arse are you going to kick, son?
It's like movie beef.
but
It's like rap beef.
Yeah, no, he's fun. I love Tom. He's awesome. He's the best Spider-Man ever, and I'd love to work with him if the opportunity arises.
I mean, the whole world is dying for you guys to combine the universe. Like,
It would be great. I'd love to do it, and I
I know you
put my
can't
hat
say
in the
that
ring.
because your publicist is
No,
can't
you
be
got it.
snitching on
But it's
you.
beyond our. It's also beyond our pay grade in that aspect. But if the opportunity arises, I'm all in. I'm all in now.
Which suit did you like? The Spider-Man logo on Venom or Venom in all black?
I'm Venom all black because that's the team that I'm on, But like how we figure out how to get a Spider-Man logo on the chest is an entirely huge other can of worms.
Let's go back to Richmond. What's this MF Doom thing? Like, give
I'm
me
a
the
big
one-on-one
fan
on
of
that
MF
real
Doom,
quick.
But he's like that. Richmond is not. I believe he was born in Hounslow.
Okay.
Which is about 3 to 4 miles away.
You interacted with MF Doom
No,
back then?
no. I just in the same way that I recognized that Slick Rick is from, I believe, Streatham or Stockwell, which is southwest London as well. It's nice
wow,
to see
Slick
people.
Rick. Holy shit.
The ruler, yeah. It was nice to see people from the neighborhood, and it's a very small place, London. When you as the crow flies. So He's super close. He's the bastion of his manor. Both of them are within sort of 4 to 6
You ever
miles.
saw MF Doom's face?
No.
Like back then, it was like Dizzy Rascal and all those guys. Like, what were you into? What rap were you into mostly?
Oh, the Dizzy Rascal, and then there was Kano, and you know, there's loads.
Kano, wow.
Yeah, but that's a slightly different setup because London has, you know, grime, drill, has MCs in a different manner. Hip hop is, you know, has a different relationship to, in my understanding anyway, to transcribing and how people operate when it comes to MCing in the UK. So when I grew up, 1977 born, so I kind of missed the Grandmaster Flash element of everything, and I kind of picked up waking up around about Rex and Effects time, you know, like
Wow.
and Rump Shaker, I think was commercial at that point, but Two Live Crew and all that was the wakings up and the Fushnikins of like, oh, hip hop.
I see KRS-One is
Positive
number
K.
1 on your list.
KRS-One is
You know, KRS-One is the reason why 50 Cent raps.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So you were spinning bars to your kid. What were those bars? Can you remember the
Oh,
bars?
oh yeah, no, yeah. Oh,
You gotta give me the bars, man. You messed up, man.
no,
You
I
got-
don't.
Check this out, yo. Check this out, man. Can't give me the mic, they don't need me. Socrates, the book of pages, I flip the fucking mic. In the back of the days, this hectic when those brothers don't respect it. Ha ha ha, flavor. I know the lot is stolen property, I'm kicking the flavor to society, police be clocking me. But logically they got to be, cause they was told the serious poetry would come from Socrates, but that ain't it. And now the flow up out of the punky about you take my microphone top of the shit, I'm not having it. Buzzing the mic could get publicity, rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live. The difference is nowadays kids that got the videos and rappers don't need skills to pay the bills so they don't hear me though. Really though, I'm 4 times on the city and I got 10 videos. But does that help me flow? No. That's why when MCs come on my show, they act like they don't know. Cause they was too young to rock up in my disco. The Frisco disco, the joint is like an Nabisco, chocolate chip cookie, better hook with me, rookie. Inside I'm beats in the states that I'm keeping them down, but police know it's tricky when I'm tweeting.
Well, it's 2024. It's so random to see like someone spin KRS-One
Kids respond to
bars.
Yeah,
to
but they
a
respond.
baby.
Kids respond like babies or other babies that I've had. They will respond to boom bap and hip hop, and it's just a nice sound. And what I think is really connected to it is quite wise hip hop in that aspect. You have quite fun, like childlike, like primal beats and bass sounds, which are, you know, comfortable and sit well with a young baby. Actually, there's a vibe on it. And then you have this wisdom that's been spoken, one hopes. Do you know what I mean? Through the MC.
Yeah, you got the J. Cole's, you got the Kendricks, and you know, they're spitting like life situations. But back then, I think it was mostly life situations in a lot of the rap.
Yeah, it was very much black hat, knapsack, and what skills you had. You know, like from Naughty by Nature through, you know, Jerry the Damager, Gangster, like Wu-Tang, you know, Big L. Those kind of MCs.
Big L.
Yeah, like that wordplay and language and assonance, alliteration, the use of language and creating transmutation of like changing. For me, hip hop music was a way of very simply with the written word. It would take me from where I was to a panorama of another world that I could see like a movie. But these rappers who are brilliant, you know, MCs that were the most amazing, they create a movie or a space with their words. Not just songs, not like popular songs or commercial songs. It wasn't
one
that,
guy that's an expert at that is Eminem. In 2001, he performed at Reading, the festival, and I think he stopped in London and Manchester. Where were you at when Eminem
I went to an Eminem concert.
Oh, you went there?
Yeah.
Oh my God! So
I
how was
met
that
him
experience
briefly.
first time?
What do you mean?
Like you went to see him? Like
He's incredible, and 50 Cent was there as well. That concert that I went to.
Oh, Garage, yeah, I'm getting to that because
Okay.
Irish people love 50 Cent, man. We had 4 sold out shows.
In Ireland.
Like, yeah, we did Dublin. I DJ'd in Limerick, Stab City.
Wow.
I had to wear the rugby so I don't get killed. Like, they didn't care about how famous I was. As long as I had the rugby on, I was a superstar.
The rugby shirt.
Yeah, I had the rugby of the team that was winning at that time in Limerick. So I think the game was going on. So thank God they won. And I DJ'd that night.
Perfect. Connections all around.
You play jump around a little bit. It's
Lovely.
over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. What happened to them? What happened to Everlast? Whitey, is it Whitey 40?
You know, that's a good question, man. Maybe we should do research.
Yeah.
To
And
find out where
I'm
this
gonna
guy's at.
afterwards.
Where is this dude?
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
So
No,
many,
the
like,
only time I've
clips
ever
and-
met him was when I went to his concert, and I felt sorry for him because it felt like I got ushered to his dressing room backstage to say hello, and he had to take a photo with me. And I felt like a right dick. Do you know what I mean? And it was like clearly
He's a nice guy, man.
no, he's nice, but
likes
he had to go on stage. Do you know what I mean? So it was like
Yeah.
he's prepping to do his job, and then some idiot like me comes in and it's like, hey, it's like just deadpanned me. I was like, okay, this now is not the time. We'll save this for another time. And then I haven't met him since. So
Is
I'm
there
a
an
huge
Eminem
fan.
song that changed your life, like you fuck with, like heavy?
I don't think it's necessarily a single song that changed my life.
Okay.
I think the contribution that he's given to the
Well,
community is
kind of like
huge.
gave you a little push.
I think the initial arrival of him was the
Okay.
big one, you know, from stand up. The Slim Shady, you know, when he first arrived. I was like,
Classic.
who is this guy? And his sense of humor and his lyricism was really on point. I know that he, you know, I also got sober 23 years ago.
Oh wow,
So,
congrats.
so there was a period I was watching him from a distance and going, okay, yeah, I identify with other stuff that is going on there. You know,
He can't catch a break in America, you know, because they don't, you know, he gets the GOAT, you know, stamp, but some people just like, oh, he's a white rapper and all this stuff. I mean, I don't see color when I see Eminem, you know.
Do you know what I think? It's very difficult because even if somebody is as you say the GOAT, there were lots of GOAT statuses for people right across the panorama of the hip hop community that I could identify, you know, quite quickly, like 2 or 3 off the top of my head, from Rakim, you know what I mean, to like Biggie Smalls. You could say Tupac. There's lots of people, you know what I mean. You can individuate and say why you feel that they've contributed in a significant way. But I think there's also going to be, I know some people talk about hating, but what's interesting is what somebody subjectively feels switched off by. It doesn't necessarily mean that their opinion has any value in the space of what it is that the person is trying to do, and that should be left to those who ultimately do that in the field. You know, in many ways. So I think when anybody breaks out of their peer group, like I suppose, like what I'm trying to say is, when I act or I work on a character, I care about what I feel about what I'm doing. And in comparison, the only people who I really care about judging my work are those who can do what I do. You know, so it's like I want to hear their feedback and their criticism. Ultimately, we're there to entertain people. But the criticism that's most, apart from, you know, hearing the fresh voice of somebody who's a fan who said, have you thought of that? Which, oh, that's good to roll into the work. It's really the peer group of people who actually do the thing that I'm trying to work with, you know, and hear what they have to say.
I've been in the UK a million times. Is Tupac's #1 in your list or Biggie?
Biggie.
Biggie's #1 in your list?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought Tupac is more like, you know, military, more went
I don't
against
know.
the
I think
grain.
it's
the
subjective, personal, isn't
Yeah.
it? I think for me, I completely understand the Tupac, why Tupac and Biggie are proffered as two icons, whereby you choose somebody, okay, and rather than say I don't choose either because they're both incredible in their own right, which they are. For me, my subjective leaning would be towards Biggie Smalls because he came with for me, he created an atmospheric he sounded like the city of New York. It was like he was like a sound bigger like it was he had spell, like which created a space and an atmospheric where you had to, you know, sit up and listen. His cadence was slow enough to have an atmospheric which was a presence that for me resonated more. But that doesn't mean that I think that one is better than the other. This is who I prefer.
That same day, you linked up with 50 Cent. I see you took a photo with him. Did you chop it up with him? What did Get Rich or Die Trying do for you back then?
I'm a big fan of 50 Cent. But I keep bumping into him. In really random
No way.
places. Yeah.
You have to- Don't snitch on that, please. Don't snitch.
No, just really random places, like
Really?
you know, in a hotel, like saunas, or like somewhere, you know, he just happened to be there, and always give him a big hug. I don't think he knows who I am, but I'll go up to him like,
He knows who you are. He knows
well,
who you
yeah,
are.
I've always got a big hug for him. Like,
I can't believe how that whole Get Rich or Die Trying movement was so. It just took over the UK. Like we did Top of the Pops a million times. Like we were like, it was like we could be there for like 3 summers straight.
Yeah.
Like, the music was so crazy to y'all like that, like PIMP in the club, like What Up Gangsta.
it will still have that
Many
impact
Men.
as well. You know, it'll still have that because it was a time, it was a moment that, you know. and nostalgic as it is now, it would still have them. If you listen to like, it's still going to be an anthem in the club today as it was back then.
Tom, what's up with Wu-Tang, man? Why is this Wu-Tang phenomenon, man? Like, explain Wu-Tang.
In what way? In what way?
To Tom Hardy, like,
To me?
yeah. Because I know you interact with some of them. You gotta inspect the deck and
do you know what they are literally every character accent that I have comes from either Platoon, one of the characters in that film, or the Wu-Tang Clan, you know, or people like Busta Rhymes, or people that infused me, influenced me, or inspired me as a teenager. And I can't tell you why I was drawn specifically to these influences, but that's what I was listening to, and I understood to be raw, authentic, intelligent, you know, have a massive range of observation and reflection, and then to place things in 8 bars, words that created mathematical equations and philosophies and understandings.
So you really have to like add and subtract. You gotta like really do research on those kind of songs, like
I think
hidden messages and stuff like that.
I think so, but I mean, at the same time, there's something about listening to them that you don't have to listen to hear every single word initially. Eventually, these things go in, but they're the soundtrack to my childhood. So they've informed decisions that I've made, even though I'm from miles away. I have no connection from the neighborhood or anything like that. I don't know anything. I'm very much a tourist in that world. When I listen to the music, that's what has inspired me to do my own creativity. I'm never going to be a rapper. I'm never going to be from Staten Island.
You gotta stop hanging with these guys, because that's where all these conspiracy theories come up,
But
man.
these are
Can we let
influences.
everybody know he's not Frankie Pulitzer, please? You're not him.
No.
Why do they keep saying that?
Why does who say that?
They're like the internet. Enough is enough, man. You don't
I
got
don't know. I
time for
think
that shit.
you know, it's what it is. Like, but for me, like, the reason why I avoided, I tried to be an MC when I was a kid, and it wasn't happening. It was a really hard sell. I kept changing up my voice. People were like, you have to be a identifiable vocal silhouette. People have to know where you're from, where you're at. I'm from a very safe neighborhood. I think what was really difficult was that I absolutely loved something that I was never going to be a part of. Okay. Because back in that period, it was like, if you're not, you know, it's about where you're from, not where you're at. Now I think things have changed. I think it's a much more open environment for the artistry. And in fact, even back then it was. So people have told me now, who I've made friends with, you know, who I respect and who have influenced my acting, they said, "Nah, man, you know, you were always welcome." But I think as a kid, and you're trying to strive to find an identity, that was one that I was locked out of. So I switched and I went into acting. And in this place, I can have small features in other people's movies. Do you know what I mean? Where I can play characters, which is the same as 8 bars or 16 bars and freestyles and stuff.
Crazy,
So.
man. The new rappers now, UK, man, they got Gigs, Skepta. I mean, they're classic. Tiny Temp is the reason we're together. So Dizzy Rascal, those are the classic. But how about these new guys like Central C? Do you bump Central C? Do you
No,
bump?
I don't. I'm still very much in a time capsule.
Oh,
You know,
really?
I'll still go back to.
But I saw
Chambers.
Lil Sims. Lil Sims was on the last.
Little Sims. Occasionally, like somebody will pop up in the gym and I go, "Have you heard this?"
She's
I'm like,
nice,
"Oh."
actually. She's like a lyrical genius.
I think she's awesome.
Okay.
And we reached out for her on Venom 2 because she had a song called Venom, but she'd never heard of Venom.
No
At
way.
all. When I saw it, I was
That's
like,
how y'all
okay.
got her?
And then she said, and her name is Little Sims. So I was like, are you named like Little Symbiote, like Little Sims, and your song's Venom? She's like,
holy.
nah. I was like, okay. So this is, you know, it was one of those things that had to be in the same way. 'Cause in Venom, we like to put a lot of retro stuff in. So we'll work on, me and Kelly, when we're working together on writing and developing a Venom, we look at the collage of visuals and aesthetics that we enjoy. So like whether that's in Venom 2, I'm wearing Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley's, you know, costume, but we inverted it because these are films that we grew up and we like, so we throw back and we like a DJ might, you know, mix in a sample from another from anything. We do that with the film, so we lay in Easter eggs and things from our childhood. Little Sims, like hip hop has always played a big part in my childhood. Irrespective to my authenticity to be a part of that group, you know, and community. Which I still love it. So we've been putting, like, for example, I met Czarface to you know, I couldn't get the rights to a Public Enemy track I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it went down, but the long and short of it is this: we shot this thing, which was Cletus Cassidy leaving prison and then taking his Mustang and driving to a gas station and beating somebody up really badly. And there was a Public Enemy track that we really wanted for that. Turns out we couldn't get the rights to it, so whether it was too expensive or whatever it was. And so my friend had said, "Hey, have you heard this this band Czarface?" I was like, "No." In the gym again when we were training, and he played it. I was like, "Oh, they're great." And I reached out to them to say, "Look, can you build a track just for this place where we need Public Enemy, but we don't have Public Enemy. But you're amazing. Can you create something in that space?" They're huge comic book fans, so, and they're cool, really cool people. Seamus put together, with Inspector Deck, a track for us there. Good guys, bad guys, and it just sat really nicely in the spot, and very grateful for that. So always trying to put where I can, authentically good material in the pot.
Well, we gotta put you up on Future, man. That rapper, he's like big out here.
Okay.
I'm gonna play a Future song because you gotta get out of here soon.
I need to know more. I always need to know.
I gotta put you up on Future. So you don't know Lil Yachty.
Can you send me
guys.
playlists?
Huh?
Can you send me
you a playlist?
Yeah, well, things to bring me out of the darkness, because I'm like clearly an old man sat in a cave, and I'm like, I need a care package. You need to tell me who's who, what's what, and what's going on, because I'm living in like 1993 and 2000, and I'm happy there. But if you want to drag me into the future, I would need help.
We got like 2 minutes, man. Venom: The Last Dance, man. I see Andy Serkis is the evil guy. I kept it secret for.
Did that come out?
Yeah. Whatever,
When did that come out? The irony is, originally it was me.
Really?
Yeah, but then they were like, "You can't be Eddie Murphy in this. You can't play everybody. You can't play everybody." I was like, I can play everyone. I'll play everything." And then they were like, "No, that's a joke." We knew from the get go that Andy's like the king of mocap.
Well, Last Dance is basically a Tom Hardy special because you co-wrote it. So we're getting like your ideas heavy on this one, or
I co-wrote the story with Kelly. She's far superior and more qualified writer than I am. I just talk at people, ideas.
So definitely Last Dance is not a musical because I went to see The Joker and I was a little pissed off. So.
Yeah, no, actually,
action-packed.
There is a moment of a musicality in it.
But it's not a musical. There's no Lady Gaga singing or none of that stuff.
No, there isn't. I'm surprised that the response for the Joker Folie Deux or whatever it's called, because Joaquin and Gaga should do that. That idea was a great idea.
He was amazing in one, but it's just
I haven't seen it, but I can understand like how that could have worked, and I don't. It's kind of sad to see a response to something that they set up very well, the first one. So it's a bit of a shame, because I want people to win when they've got something good to do, they're doing the work. So that's disappointing. I feel for them, that aspect. But no, Last Dance is not a musical. It's a big, epic final sort of salute to the franchise. And it's all, it's Kelly Marcel's first film as well she ever directed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not even a short film or an advert.
How do you keep up with the multiverse? This is my last question. Like,
I have no idea
how do they do that? You got Ant-Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. How do you put it all together? And I mean, is it infinite? Like,
I guess so, but I mean, there's a difference between Disney's MCU and Sony's Venomverse. So like we have our own lanes in many ways. But I mean, I have a kind of understanding about how the operational MO is on that front, and obviously I read the comics and stuff. But I have to ask my son, say, what's going on? What do I need to do?
It's amazing how they interconnect everything.
Well, yeah, they'll know what's going on, and I send the tout out and go, come back with the information, and please tell me, what do I need to do?
Before we get out of here, did Woody Harrelson get you high? Because he got me so high. He's super pothead.
Dude, like he got me into
He's the ultimate, yo. I'm still high now.
Is it? Like you're still sweating, sweating it? Yeah. I was wondering why I could smell. Like, but no, he's I'm 22 years sober, so like whatever that means, like.
Congrats, man. You need to hang with M.
I'd love to play, but unfortunately I can't because I won't leave the place how I found it. But Woody's good fun, and he got me into vegan food. He's like he loves to eat.
So you don't eat meat no more?
No, he's for years. He's an advocate, a very serious advocate for that. And
wow,
but he's funny. Guy's funny. Like he's
I'm
brilliant.
so jealous that's like your boy and stuff like that.
Oh,
I just smoked with him. That's it.
But I mean that's probably quite a lot.
That's better.
You know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
But he's fun though, right? He's
No, he's mad.
he's
Yo,
proper.
I can't snitch on what we
character.
did that night, but yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, he's a serious dude. I love him to bits. All the interesting ones are a bit, crazy.
We gotta get out of here because you know when you could tell like your publicist is like on your heel.
Jittery. Yeah, no.
Fuck out of here.
No, everyone's
See ya.
cool. Thanks for having me, brother.